This is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. I don't understand how this is acceptable. I really don't. Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you love the Giants and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. So if you can help us get there, that would be a gigantic blessing. I came across a stat. Now, this is from Marshall from Giants Chat Sports. He does a fantastic job over there. But I saw this stat and it really made my skin crawl, my blood boil, however you want to, whatever word you want to use to explain how maybe you might feel from this news, because this news is absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, this four-headed monster, right? You expect them to be on the field for at least half the game. At least at the same time. At least half the game. I understand they're trying to move guys in and out, but that's you're not trying to make of course you're trying to make a well-balanced team, but you're also trying to make a dominant team. And Lawrence, Burns, Carter, and Thibodeau were on the field 8 out of the 65 defensive snaps that the New York Giants had at the same time. Those four guys were on the field at the same time only 8 out of the 65 defensive snaps. Are we kidding? Now, the first couple plays in the game, I was like, wait a minute. Abdul Carter's not on the field yet. Where is he? Then third down comes and they put him on. And then also, too, how they utilize Carter. He's got to go and attack the quarterback. They have the way how they used them this week. Didn't agree with it. Didn't think it really made any sense. You have to, as someone else would say, unleash Abdul Carter. Because Brian Burns had a good game. And listen, I'm not saying Carter did not have a good game. But he's a guy that needs to rush the quarterback. He's a guy that succeeds at attacking the quarterback, at getting in that backfield. And for some reason, Bowen and the Giants were just like, no, let's not do it. Abdul Carter had 24 tackles for a loss last year for Penn State. 24 tackles for a loss? Are you kidding me? 12 sacks. 12 sacks and 24 tackles for a loss. The hell are we doing? You bring in a kid like Abdul Carter and you expect him to dominate. You draft the number 3 overall and you don't even use him right. You don't even use him right. Now, the talk of the week is this offense, the offensive line. And listen, I have my gripes with this offensive line. I do. They're probably the worst offensive line in the NFL. This New York Giant offensive line is probably, in my opinion, the worst offensive line in the NFL. It's bad. And yes, you lost Andrew Thomas, but listen, he's one out of 5 guys on your line? And of course, you put him on there. You put him in there. He's healthy. He didn't practice today, by the way. If Andrew Thomas is healthy, maybe the run game is a bit better because that run game sucked. But this offensive line sucked. Russell Wilson, people want to talk crap about him, and I get it. Maybe he missed some open receivers. Maybe he could have taken advantage a little bit better. I understand. However, Russell Wilson was pressured. He had hands in his face 50% of the time. And people want to say, oh, Russell Wilson, he's scared. He didn't stay in the pocket. I mean, he was getting freaking blitzed. They were coming after him. That offensive line would break down, and he barely has the ball in his hands. They didn't even call hike yet, and they're breathing down his neck. And you want to put Jackson Dart back there? You want this kid to get creamed? I don't want him playing behind that offensive line. Now, if he goes and plays behind that offensive line and plays well, okay, so be it. I'm fine with that. I just don't want my young quarterback, who I have high hopes for, to go in there and get creamed. I don't want that to happen. Russell Wilson did look a little panicky. I understand. I get that opinion. But at the same time, the offensive line freaking stunk. They were terrible. They were absolutely. What did you expect him to do? What did anybody expect Russell Wilson to do behind that dreadful offensive line? It's been 3 years. Well, going into year 4 of Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, and they have yet to develop a good offensive line. I get it, Andrew Thomas is hurt, but they have yet to develop a good offensive line. It's pathetic watching it. It's absolutely pathetic. They've had enough time. They whiffed on Evan Neal. John Michael Schmitz, Daboll talked about him, how, I believe in him. Listen, I believed in him too, but now you're in year 3 of him. This is year 3 of John Michael Schmitz, which is crazy to me. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What we have to watch every Sunday. What we have to watch, how this team is, the play calling is piss poor. Mike Kafka loses the play calling ability a couple of years back. You give it, or last year, you give it to Daboll. Daboll then, he gives it right back to Kafka. Why not just hire a new offensive coordinator then? If the play calling isn't there, why not just do that in the offseason? Don't give it back to a guy that you took that role away from, and you gave it right back to him. You took it away from him for a reason. But you gave it right back to him. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. In Sunday versus the Commanders, the play calling was horrible too. The play calling was horrible against the Commanders. This isn't a well-coached team. This is not a well-coached Giant team. We're in year 4 of this. Year 4. They have to tighten up. They have to tighten up because this is insane. What we're watching is crazy. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's what this New York Giant organization does. They do the same thing over and over and over again, and it doesn't work. And then you go and you draft the kid 3rd overall in Abdul Carter, one of the most talented, if not the most talented player coming out of the draft. And you use them the way you used them. I want to see him, Thibodeau, Burns, Lawrence, all on the field at the same time for half the snaps. But we didn't get it in the first game. It didn't make any sense to me how this Giants team is run. It's almost like they mailed it in week 1. It's almost like they just mailed it in week 1. Oh, offensive line stinks. We have no run game. It's virtually non-existent. The receivers, dropped 5 passes? So that's not good. That sucks. This Giants team makes it tough every year. They make it tough to root for them. And I love my Giants. I love my Giants. Tighten up, get better.